Okay, and this is Brittany, of course, Jurudy. We're with Plant-Based Pittsburgh, and we welcome everybody for our special, amazing alpaca presentation. So we're going to do a presentation, then we will have a question and answer after that. And then after that, we'll give you those people on Zoom can just take a look at the products, and you can just take a look at some of the Peruvian snacks that are ready to go. And you should know that everybody who has signed up will get a link tomorrow with the whole presentation and a link to the snacks, actually extra snacks, all these Peruvian recipes, and we will be good to go. Okay. So without further ado, let me introduce our two speakers here. We will have, this is from Nature's Melodies Yoga Alpaca Ranch in Butler, PA. It is on up there that you will see on the screen. I have with me, I have to look here because I'm going to take the last name, and I know, I'm sorry. Okay. Dr. Mahesh Mallikarjan. Okay, he's very a kind person. He's just saying sure. Okay, and Dr. Susan Smith. That was easy enough. Okay. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to turn this whole event over to them, and they will offer you all this beautiful information. Thank you.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah,
you're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
People may not be able to see you.
Yes. They can see you.
They can see.
Yeah.
Can they see the?
They can. I'm making sure.
Okay, she's our tech person.
Am I using this computer?
Yep. Yeah, they can be able to see.
Welcome everybody, and thanks for coming. And on very chilly, cold day of January, and we really thank you for coming and enjoying our alpacas and talk today. My name is Mahesh Mallikarjun. I'm a practicing physician. I do anesthesia, and my wife here, she's a practicing periodontist and now a alpaca rancher, come lifestyle medicine coach. So we we developed our interests in the coming years, in the last few years. Apart from our professions being physicians, we want to promote more plant-based natural healing process through nature. And alpacas came in our way, where we kind of learned more about alpacas, how friendly they are to nature and how plant-based they are. We're going to talk more about alpacas today, and we'll introduce, from where they came, what they eat, how they reproduce, and what are they mainly raised for, and all the stuff we're going to discuss. So first of all, let me introduce our ranch. The name of our ranch is Nature's Melodies Yoga Alpaca Ranch, which is located in Butler. So some of you are familiar with Butler. So we are probably maybe 3 miles from 422 at Jefferson exit. So we're right there close to 422. So probably an hour from here, out from Pittsburgh. And we found this place. It's a 60 acres ranch, wooded ranch. And there was no animals. It was an old horse farm that was no horses were raised for the last 15 years. We found this place in 2016. And we didn't know. We wanted to do something with nature, something with animals after we visited New Zealand. And we came back and we were so thrilled to see how people are so peaceful and so happy. They're not making a lot of money and being in big professions, but there are a lot of happy people. Everybody behind their house, they raise sheep, alpacas, cows. We were thrilled. They said, how people are happy. So we kind of talked to people and I said, what's up, what's going on? It's complete, it's a national health care. They don't pay a single penny from the pocket for health care.
Could you talk just a little louder?
Okay. Sure. So after visiting New Zealand, we learned that people are more happier and healthier when they are in nature, when they interact and be with animals and be with nature. And we found out that we want to do something. This was 2015. So it was in our mind that we want to create a place where we can enjoy for ourselves, just not going on vacation all the time and get stressing out, going and coming. We wanted to enjoy something that we can enjoy it on a weekly, daily basis, closer to home, closer to Pittsburgh. Instead of getting on the plane, going all the way to Florida, to outside, and then coming back, it stresses out, unnecessary stress. So we wanted to create something which we can enjoy on a weekly basis, where we can visit, enjoy the nature, and preserve, like kind of develop and like kind of more interact with the nature. And also we wanted to take our friends and other people who come along in our life to introduce them to nature and a lot of nature related stuff. And we both are yoga teachers. We have been doing yoga for the last 25 years. And we promote yoga. That's one of our main things. We wanted to develop this place as a yoga ranch. So we named yoga Alpaca Ranch. So alpacas came probably maybe like 4 or 5 months after we bought this place in Butler. So we were driving one day and we saw this big alpaca ranch in Butler, and we just visited the place, and we talked to the owners, and they had about 200 alpacas, and so they told us like how easy to take care of alpacas, what they are, what they eat, how to what they're reproduced for, what is the main uses and stuff we learned. And pretty quickly, within a couple of months, we fenced our place a little bit more to be alpaca friendly. We wanted, initially before alpacas, we wanted like milking cows or milking goats. And people said not to get into those. It was too hard for us to take care. Somebody has to be there 24/7 to take care of goats, cows, and horses. But alpacas, they're a different story. So let me go in further in the slides. I'll explain more. You have a okay. So this is our information, and our website is nmyalpacas.com. So that's Nature's Melodies yogaalpacas.com, and mainly about alpacas, nature, and yoga. And we have our cards in the back. If anybody is interested, please take a look. So alpacas, like I said, we got introduced in the fall of 2016 after we found this place, and we visited a bigger ranch. We learned more about alpacas, what they eat, what they reproduce for, and what are the uses. So alpacas are basically from South America, like Peru, Chile, Bolivia, and Ecuador, in that area. So they live in very high altitude, like 11,000 to 16,000 feet above sea level. They graze there. They are like free animals. They're all kind of up on the mountains, and they live freely. And nobody's gonna go get them wet care, feed them every day, water them. They all graze up on the hills, up on the mountains, really high. These mountains are amazing. So in 2017, me and Susan visited Peru, and we visited Machu Picchu, Peru, and learned more how to. We visited a ranch. It's a breeding alpaca program in Peru, and we visited this place where they had 3,000 alpacas. They're huge. Like one pasture we visited had almost like 500 to 600 alpacas, and they were like breeding, like they were having babies almost every day, 2 or 3 babies. They were all in a huge, big, like a valley, big valley. I don't know where the fence was. I didn't see any fence, but they were all inside there. So we learned how to reproduce, and how to raise them, what they care, and a lot of stuff we learned. And in Peru, in Machu Picchu, as we go further, let me go further. So the alpacas mainly belong to camelid family. So there are three types of camels. So one is camels, the alpacas next, and llamas. So camels, alpacas, and llamas. They all belong to camelid family. And in alpacas, there are 3 types. One is Suri, Wakaya, and Vicuña. So we have the Wakaya. So Wakaya alpacas, the one you see in the picture, that's Wakaya, the one fluffy, the one what we see here. Suri alpacas, they have a longer fiber. They're kind of more straight fiber. They're fluffy too, but it's very thin, but it's much longer. And that's called Suri. And this is Wakaya. And then we have Vicuña. So Vicuña alpacas, they look kind of more light brown and whitish in the belly, but they are wild. You cannot raise them. There may be, like, people did bring some to US and they're raising someplace in Colorado, But these are wild alpacas. They live in the high mountains of Peru. No, we can't go there and catch them, nothing like that. And their fiber is very thin, and it's like maybe 1 or 2 inches if they grow, and that's it. And it's very expensive to harvest the fleece from them. Like a scarf like this from Vicuña will cost you $2,000. Wow. So that's how much expensive it is, because it's hard to find them or raise them as domesticated animals. So that's Vicuña. They're wild part of alpacas. So they originate from South America, and they were domesticated about 6,000 years ago by the Incans. So they were raised mainly because the Incans lived in Machu Picchu and all other places where it snowed, the weather was bad, windy, rainy, and it was hard for them. So they domesticated this mainly for wool, mainly for fleece. So they reproduced, and they produced all, whatever the fabric they could get, just for the Incan warriors and Incan dynasty, like kings and their dynasty people. That was like a royal animal. It's called royal fiber. Till today, the culture is preserved that way. So we visited Machu Picchu, and mainly the uses of alpacas. Let me go from Machu Picchu because we visited the place, so we know that. So we saw alpacas and llamas right there in Machu Picchu. See, the Machu Picchu is like all these terraces, like different height terraces right there. You cannot take a lawnmower from going from place to place. It's very hard to move the lawn. And they have nice lawn too. So what they do in the morning, they bring in like 20, 30 alpacas, which they have stored in Machu Picchu. They leave them there. They graze all day. They graze all terraces. They graze. In the evening, they put them back in there's a small like a storage barn. They put them back there. So in that way, there's no consumption. There's no gas usage on the farm. There's no lawnmowers. All this place is maintained naturally just by alpacas taking care of the grass. And we said, man, that's amazing. All the manure that comes out from alpacas are great organic plant-based, easily degradable and biodegradable material that you can use it for any plants, anywhere, any weather, and it really gives you good yield of crops. We've been raising all this. We've been growing like tomatoes, pumpkins, a lot of vegetables, and we have excellent yield. It's the quality of the fruit. If you cut it, if you go to Aldi or Costco or Sam's Club, if you buy like a tomatoes, right? You cut it, there's no juice in that. You cut it, just like like thermo, like something like an artificial fruit. These tomatoes we grow on our farm. You cut it, there is complete juice in it. The taste, she prepared she vacuum sealed some tomato sauce 2 years ago. I just used it 2 days ago. It's amazing. Still preserved, still good taste. So we start to learn slowly about all these amazing things about products that we can derive from alpacas. So, okay, so gestation. So when they're pregnant, it takes about 11 months for a baby to be born, and the baby of alpacas are called crias, C-R-I-A, cria. So a cria is born 11 months, 2 weeks after gestation, and they stay with the mom. The mom takes care of the baby very carefully. They're always like that. They cannot leave, the baby cannot be there and the mom cannot be there. Mom constantly watches the cria for about 6 to 8 months. They breastfeed, that's all they do. They don't eat anything else in the beginning. They just breastfeed, take care. They may nibble on the grass, but they don't really eat any grass. But for about 6 to 8 months, they breastfeed and take care. At that point of time, either mom itself kind of weans them off, or we have to take the baby out of the mom because it's a nutritional thing that mom doesn't get a nutritional breastfeed, so we have to take it and wean the baby off by about 8 to 9 months. But sometimes the mom takes care of it. You don't have to do. Mom takes care. Mom kind of chases, like kind of goes away from the baby, and baby starts eating other stuff. So, and they come in 22 colors, and we have a color chart. If you can pass the color chart, please, right there. So everybody can take a look here. So those are some of the colors that alpacas come. There are 22 colors in US, but there are more colors in Peru. They have like 55 colors there. Their lifespan is about 18 to 25 years. The longest living alpaca till today is 27 years. Mm-hmm. So on an average, they live around 17, 18 years on an average. Okay. So some of the therapeutic uses of alpacas. There's a lot of scientific experiments have been going on after the COVID. So now they have a special antibodies called nanobodies that can fight COVID. So these nanobodies, the antibodies that alpacas have in their serum, they're very small nanobodies, they're small particles. When you combine two, it becomes a monoclonal antibody that can fight COVID. It can fight against coronavirus. So there's a lot of, what they're doing, they're using the alpacas and llamas in Europe. They're injecting the corona, like kind of artificially injecting them and getting their serum and getting the antibodies out of that. And then they're treating it. So a lot of experiments are going on at this point, but I don't know how much is in the US. I don't think it's really approved yet. So they are mainly used as therapeutic animals in nursing homes and a lot of places. Mayo Clinic has used and showed that alpacas can be used to combat anxiety, depression, chronic pain, reducing blood pressure, dementia, autism. All these people who are in the nursing homes, all these therapeutic homes, they every week they have alpacas. Like we brought, people take them every week, and they keep them in the nursing homes and stuff. So they can, all the people can pet, walk with them, just feed them, just being with them. Just the structure of it, the feel of it, the way they're structured, their neck, the head, the body, the way they walk, it's something soothing for the mind. It's something, I don't know what it is. We feel the same way too. When we go to the farm and we just look at them, pet them, be around them, we feel so happy. So we feel like that positive vibration comes in us. I don't know what it is. So, and then in Machu Picchu, obviously you saw that they've been used for lawn mowing. And alpaca manure is one of the best organic plant-based biodegradable manure that's available today. If you go near like a cow farm or a horse farm, it smells bad. It smells bad. You go near alpaca farm, even we have all the alpaca manure all around, you won't feel, you won't smell it. You won't smell. You can easily use the alpaca manure same day. As soon as they drop it, you can use it straight into your plants, your pasture, anywhere. It does not need to be like kind of kept it for a long time to ferment or anything like that. They are plant-based, so this is where the plant-based comes. So they're so good with nature. They are plant-based. They only eat all the hay, the vegetable leaves. They like mulberry leaves. They like maple leaves. Any leaves that come, fresh leaves, they eat on the ground. Only thing they don't eat is like all these weeds and kind of dandelion flowers and stuff like that. They don't eat too much because it hurts their mouth. They don't have an upper teeth, just the bottom teeth. So the bottom teeth are like that. Upper teeth, there's a jaw, but there's no teeth. So they have to take the top part of the grass like that. So they don't eat the roots. They don't go to the bottom of the thing. They don't take out the roots. So they just clear the top 1/3 of the grass. They don't go to the bottom. See, goats and cows, horses, you go to any farm, there's no grass there. The ground is destroyed. It's gone. Alpacas, throughout the year, you will see the grass. Even now, there's like, whatever the grass is there, they only just take the top one. They're so good with nature. They don't destroy. The hooves they have, they don't create any destruction to the ground. And they eat only the top part. And whatever the manure that comes is very good organic plant-based and the fertilizer that we can use it till today. And so those are some of the things. Other than that, we are a breeding alpaca farm. So we use alpacas for breeding, and we reproduce and we sell. And we currently we like all our animals, so we don't want to sell. So if somebody comes and asks today, hey, give us 4 alpacas, we don't have. We have 26 alpacas, by the way. But we like every single one of them. They're all different. They're all different colors, texture. Their mood, the personality is so different from each other. And we can't sell. With difficulty, we sold 2 last year. And she's telling like, why did we sell them? We should have them. Somebody wanted it, so we drove them to we drove them to Kentucky and delivered it to a small farm. They're just like alpacas. But what we say is we fell in love and we want to keep all our animals. We don't want to sell, but we do breed and we do. Ours is like a reproduction farm. If I have to make money, I have to sell. I have to make maintenance, some money for maintenance of alpacas. Then I have to reproduce. I have to sell. So on the other side, the fleece that we take off in the month of May. So it goes from May to May. First week of May, then 1 year it grows. So by May, they're fully fluffy. There's about 8 to 10 pounds of fiber sitting on them. Just think like this. So this scarf, by the way, this scarf is made from alpaca wool. She made it, so I'm very proud. So I wear this as a gift for me from my wife. So I'll give it to you guys later. So how it's a little rough because it's not commercial made, she made it. So you'll see a little bit different in the texture from that to this. This is raw, right? The fiber from our alpacas, and she made it very warm. You'll sweat when you wear this. So, so the fiber cycle goes from May to May. First week of May, we shear them. We don't shear. We have people coming from Georgia and New Zealand. People come from New Zealand and a lot of places they come. So as soon as we take out the fiber, we dry them, and then we have some pockets.
Wow.
Her name is Nacious Melodies Marja. She's one of the very dark brown animals. So they're not sedated, they're not hurt, nothing like that. They just like casual, they tie their legs, they hold their head. And this is the primary blanket. So if you see that whatever Susan is collecting, that's called the primary blanket from the body, from neck to the legs. That's the most valuable fiber. She just collected that. That's the most valuable fiber that's utilizable for making all the products. The one that grows on the legs and the head and neck is not usable as much. We can make rugs and we can make other stuff, but the primary is the one that just took out. So by the month of May, they have grown that much. You can see the difference now, how much is there in the neck and the legs and the body. They are ready to get that off of their body. They don't want it anymore. It's too hard, it gets too sweaty.
But they take it down to the skin. Is that what you see skin there? Or is there a little bit?
No, there's
A little bit.
yeah.
It grows fast. When we take out in May, probably by end of June, they're already grown. They grow like
All right.
Kind of like how when men shave, but they leave a little bit, so they're still hair.
Would hurt.
Not all the way to the skin. It's just like these people are experts. They have very a mechanized a shearing machine, and they're I can't do it.
We have to like our next year's shearing date was set back 2 years ago. So like every year it's on the same day for us. So they come here and we need to be ready. We need to clear our schedule to be having them.
All the 26 alpacas takes about 6 hours done from starting to end.
And they don't get hurt.
Do you shampoo them first?
No.
You don't shampoo them.
No,
The fiber gets off, and then after the processing starts.
Oh.
You don't want to do it on the animal.
Oh.
No, I don't know. You don't give them a bath.
Oh, okay.
You don't shampoo them or anything. You actually this raw fleece off of them, and you never shampoo or give them a bath like we do for dogs.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. The dog, you shampoo with that.
No.
They don't like that.
Their way of taking a bath, they create mud areas where they go in there and they just roll around. And that's why whenever you see our raw fleas, like if you see it's all dusty and very dirty, because that's they get their fleas really dirty actually.
They believe in mud bath.
Oh, but that's
Good.
I saw you have a pond on your property. Did they ever let you go in it?
No, they don't.
No, they're very good about
They don't like water. So when it rains, they run in the water. Because the water, although the alpaca fiber is fire resistant and water resistant, but they don't like, because water sits on them, like it becomes clamped, like kind of
on the outer
outer
layer.
layer. It kind of sits on them, so they don't like that.
Yeah.
So they just, I've never seen alpaca going into the lake.
Do they drink from it?
They go close by, like 2 feet.
No, we have a spring. It's a spring-fed pond. So they go by the spring and then drink the water
The water
along
that's
the
going
spring.
in that,
But they
Moving
know
water,
not to
so
go.
it's always better, right?
what's that?
Do they know if it's moving water?
They drink.
Do they know if it's moving water?
No, because you know how like
I don't know, moving water, like still water, cause like.
No,
still
because it's
water-
shallow, the water is
Oh.
shallow, so they know not to go into the pond, because it's, the way we have our pond as well, it's very hard for them to step into, so they're very careful about where they step.
The height depth is different.
Oh,
They
yeah.
see the large body of water, they don't like to go inside into it.
Yeah,
But I have seen them, right now our pond is frozen, it's completely iced up. So I have seen them a couple of times, they walk.
they have tried,
They walk, and one went a little bit inside, and then by the time he went there, he jumped out.
yeah, we were screaming to get him out, but he got out.
So I'm gonna let Susan talk on the fiber processing, harvesting and stuff.
Yeah, this is my little hobby, so I get to take over now. So you saw the shearing video. It does not hurt them, but we do need to strap them down, otherwise they will hurt themselves and they'll hurt us. It's kind of like giving a first haircut to a baby. You kind of want to hold them really still to make sure that we're doing the proper job. So they're not hurt, and then actually once the shearing is done, they're so happy. You have to see how they shake off their body and just get out of there, and they're done and ready to be out of there. So that's how we shear. And so once we shear, this is pretty much, this is what you saw us collecting in bags, and we collect them and we label them. We have to label, and it's kind of like a record keeping, kind of like a medical record keeping. So we weigh them, and we also weigh we call like the blanket cut. What he was describing is pretty much their back. And then we call the second cut, which is kind of like their neck and then their thigh area. So different cuts are used for different purposes. So the blanket cut is more like sweaters or something that goes close to your body. Whereas the second cut, like your neck and your thigh area, that we use for maybe gloves or scarves and stuff. And then the third cut we call thirds is like by the leg or underneath the like their tummy area. That is pretty much we use it for compost or making rugs, or we put it like put birds, make birds nests for them. What we do is like make a little ball. You know how onions come in those little hole things, right? I didn't bring any today, but we put the third cut in there, and then we hang it up outside, and the birds come and pick those to make their nests. So they have a warm nest for their babies. So once we cut, here's the blanket cut and the second cut. We have to air dry it, and after it's air dried, then we put it back in the bags. And if it's really good and I want to play with it, I'll keep it, or I will. We will send it to a place. There's a lot of mills out there that will process as well. So I have learned how to process, but obviously factory made is much better and faster. So, but I was gonna show that to you guys just so you see it. So here's the fleece that is coming out of there, and you can see how long it is. And I'll let you guys pass it around. So it's about like 4 to 6 inches long, and each fleece has a characteristics, and the characteristics will tell how good the fleece is. So depending on that, our alpacas are kind of graded on that level. Like if they're really good, then we make baby blankets or something like that. So it matters that way. So once we have this, then what we do is you can use, if you're playing at home. Yes.
Did you make your shawl?
Which one? Oh,
The
this
one
one?
you
Yeah.
No, that's
Oh.
too hard. You saw my quality.
That's good though.
Yeah, I can't make this. But pretty much when you have raw fleece like this, it's really dirty. So you have to first wash it, and then after washing, what you do is you can either comb or card. People who are into fleece, they know all this terminology, and pretty much you're combing it. So you're taking the fleece and you're like literally lining the fibers, lining the fleece up. And then once you have combed it really well, then you want to make it into, they call it like Rolex, which if you do this, I'm just going to show it really fast. So, a rowing, they call it. So once you have it like this, then it becomes this way, right? So then you can spin from here. And I just brought this one to show you. This is what I'm working on. This is actually our one of our babies' fleece. This is the rowing. See how you can make from there to here. This is combined with 20% of dyed merino. So this is our natural color. So most of the time we try to keep natural color. You don't have to show it. Okay. So my spinning wheel is electric. And if you see, a lot of people have the really cool one, which I'll probably learn how to do it with that one later. But pretty much how you do is you just take like this and then oh, see, it just goes like this, and then you add a little. You have to draft. And you just do this. It becomes
A thread.
yeah, it becomes a thread. So then what we do is we take like 2 or 3 of these threads, and then
Turn it sideways or something.
oh, sorry.
There you go.
So you keep doing this. It's actually very mesmerizing once you learn how to do it. I enjoy it. Just sit. You should see people how talented they are actually. See, you just make it into thread. And then you apply like this. You do about 3 of these threads, and then you apply it together, and then you get yarn that you see out there. So you can pass this around. This is a little dangerous if there's any kids, but I'll pass this around.
We have visited like a bigger fiber companies. They have these huge, like big setups. So it kind of, they run it like at multiple, like kind of levels. So they are like, they can do in bulk. So at one time they can do, a lot of, in a given day they manufacture like a lot of skins of yarn.
So this is again another picture of the piece that's drying.
Is that drying at your place? Or
Yeah,
is it
this is
your
our
own place?
place.
It's drying.
Yeah.
Before you sell it or
Yes,
whatever.
before we
Yeah. So before we process or resell it, yes. So I think he already went over most of this. It's just our alpaca products are mostly hypo allergenic because they don't have the lanolin like the wool from a sheep does. So it's actually, the ones that I'm passing around, if you feel it, there's no waxy residue. There's dirt, but there's no waxy residue. That's what it is. That's the difference between the alpaca and the wool. And it is very warm. So you compare it to, I think I deleted this slide. So it's compared to cashmere. The softness is compared to the cashmere, and it's actually stronger than cashmere strength-wise. And it's also better than wool in the fact that it's softer than wool, and also it doesn't have the lanolin in it.
So the word thermoregulated, you want to explain?
So thermoregulated is in the fact that, whenever it's really hot, you don't feel so hot wearing that. it actually breathes. You're able to breathe a little bit better. And then when it's cold outside, you actually feel warm. It helps you out in both ways actually.
So what it means is the alpacas have a thermoregulating mechanism. So their fiber becomes tight and it becomes loose. The skin and the fiber, they have a mechanism. When it's too hot, it becomes loose and more aerated. The humidity and the heat goes away. When it is too cold, it becomes more tight. In winter, it becomes more tight. It conserves the heat. So that's called thermoregulated. So when it is not only in alpacas, when you wear it outside, this is derived, but alpaca is not underneath. This still has the same features. So this has, in spring she can wear it, in summer she can wear it, she won't be hot. In winter, it becomes warm. So that's called thermoregulated. So hypoallergenic, thermoregulated. So that's the alpaca fiber. That's the characteristic of the fiber of alpaca. Not the sheep and other stuff. They don't have it. They are more.
And so some of the products that are alpaca products are from US, and most of them are from Peru. The reason being is the labor cost is really high here. And so when they take it out over there and then they bulk it with all of theirs and they have bigger machinery. So in here we have smaller mills. We don't have as big mills like they do in Peru. So it's not as cost effective for us to process it here. Although all of our fleece is going into US production.
So just to tell you guys the cost of production, say a poncho like this, this is made in Peru by the way. So by the time we buy it and we kind of sell it here, this cost will be $70 here. Like when if I try to make this from our yard, it's going to be at least $250 by processing and somebody to do it, the machine and the quality. So you see the cost effect. So I can sell this for probably $60 because it's from there. If I try to make it, it's going to be $240. It's almost 3 times more expensive. So that's the reason that it has to be, the skill.
I think in US we have not
Not developed that industry, yeah.
When we grow our industry a little bit more, the alpaca industry grows, I think we would be able to be a little bit more cost effective for our products. And so there's a lot of varieties things that we can make out of alpacas, like socks, gloves, sweaters, headbands, scarves, coats, blankets, throws, wraps, and kits, toys. What I want to discuss is the difference between, the alpaca, the fiber is stronger than cashmere and smoother than silk, softer than cotton, and warmer and more breathable than acrylic. So I would like to ask you guys, the clothes that you're wearing now, what do you think they're made of? Cotton, yes. Cashmere, very rare, yes. Polyester.
The one that you wear regularly every day.
Most of the time, most of our products, most of our clothing is from acrylic or polyester. Polyester kind of to replace the cotton, and acrylic to replace the wool, the warmth. So if you notice, that's what it is. And what is acrylic and polyester? It's oil-based.
Plastic.
It's made of plastic.
Acrylic is made of plastic.
Acrylic and polyesters, they're made of plastic. But what they are is they take plastic and just do microfibers out of them. And that's how they make the cheaper clothes. And that's how we're able to make so many clothes, is because it's cheaper than natural. So what I want to show is a difference. And this is when we went to Peru, they showed this like this, and it kind of stuck in my head. And now every time I go shopping anywhere, the first thing we see is like, what's the material? What's the material? So just a little bit of, I'm just gonna, this is how they showed it. I want to show you guys. I'm gonna burn my baby, please. Okay, so see, okay. So I'm gonna pass it around. I want you guys to, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, I want you guys to feel the difference. And once you actually see it in this manner, then you, when you go shopping, you look at it, then you'll look at your clothes totally in a different manner. So just pass it along and just feel the end of this. And then feel where I have burned it here. It turns into ash. Alpaca or any natural fiber, cotton, hemp, wool turns into ash, whereas polyester turns into plastic. So that's the way to see that you actually are wearing plastic. So we're actually most all of us are living in a plastic bubble. So yeah. So this is the natural fibers are, like I was saying, wool, cashmere, hemp, and synthetic is mostly polyester, spandex, or nylon, acrylic. So what do you think happens? We are all worried about the water bottles going into the landfill, right? So I'm going to show you this. What do you think happens to clothes when we are done with the fashion? We give them we pile them up in Goodwill or something, and then eventually that makes its way into the landfill. And then not only are we concerned about the environmental aspect of it, but now they're starting to say that these nano fibers, the nanoplastics, are going into the cells in animals, and it's just a matter of time when they find it in human histology. So have I convinced you all to buy natural? Okay. So what so that was my portion of the presentation, but I want to tell you another thing that we do, like the idea in our farm with Nature's Melodies, is we like to promote anything that is going to connect you with nature. And one of the things is 5-element therapy. Now, what 5-element therapy is, what we do is, it came, another name for it is Panchamahabhutas, which came from Ayurveda. I don't know if you guys are familiar. And that is about 6,000 years ago in India, pretty much it kind of originated there. And what they talk about is the fact that the universe is made up of 5 elements. Okay, it's made up of earth, water, fire, air, and space. And then pretty much, if you think of it, your body is made up also of these 5 elements to some degree or another in different areas. So if you look at your hands and legs, pretty much they're made up of earth material, right? And then if you go near your abdomen, lower abdomen, it's made up of mostly like kidneys and bladder, water element. If you go up higher, where stomach and liver, they produce a lot of enzymes that break things down, like fire element. Then if you go up higher, near your lungs, air, mostly occupied is the air element. And then as we go higher, in our skulls, we have a lot of empty cavities, some more than the others, right? So basically what we do is we, when our system, when one of these elements is imbalanced in our body, we want to try to bring it in balance. And one of the methods to bring it back in balance is to use our senses, the 5 senses that we have, and use that to come in, use the universe's 5 elements and come in, become balanced in that way. So that's 5 element therapy is one of the things that we'd like to promote. Anything that pretty much brings any connection between you and nature, we'd like to kind of explore that. Okay, so next is, I think you do the next.
So the basic of Ayurveda, if some of you are familiar with Ayurveda medicine, so Ayurvedic is one of the very oldest, like branch of medicine that they used to treat you before all this modern medicine, modern techniques came into play. So whenever the basis of Ayurveda treatment is whenever these 5 elements are abnormal, if the water content in your body is high, you get swelled up everywhere. Fire content is high, you get acidity, you get burning sensation. When the air content is high, you burp and you poop. So all these things cause problems for you medically. So the 5 elements nature therapy is balancing these 5 elements when you get in touch with the contact with the nature. And we have placed 1 or 2 sessions during our retreats for 5 elements nature therapy. So I'll go in detail about what we did. So basically our ranch is, we created like a retreat ranch where we invite people who are always in the city, we don't have too much exposure to nature. They're suffering from nature deficit disorder. They diagnosed this in Japan, and that's the basis for forest therapy. So what we do, we invite you. So our ranch is like an invitation, like an attraction for you. Alpacas are an attraction to get you there, where we can introduce you to nature, yoga, alpacas, and forest therapy. In that, we also, so if you go in there, so on any given retreat day, so we're going to plan to, we talked to Sally and we're planning a retreat. It's going to be a plant-based, health-oriented retreat sometime in April or May. We're going to plan and we're going to let you guys know. So on a typical day, you arrive around 8 to 9 a.m. in the morning. We will do a farm tour for an hour or so, where we show how the alpaca farm functions on a day-to-day basis. And we're going to visit the males, females born. We're going to show how, like daily, what we do with alpacas, water and hair distribution, cleaning the barn, and we take a small tea break and light snacks. All this will be plant-based snacks. Sally will plan all this. We can have a session on how to prepare and how to serve the plant-based dishes like that. And then we do a forest therapy for about 90 minutes. So what is forest therapy? Are any of you familiar with forest therapy? It's called Shinrin Yoku in Japanese. So let me tell you something about forest therapy. So in 1980s, 1990s in Japan, where they were clearing a lot of all this wooded natural land, that was all the trees were being cut to processing and stuff. And people started getting sick because they were deficient, nature deficit. They were all more kind of oriented towards cell phones and all these electronic things. A lot of young generation got sucked into this. The people start dying. Diabetes, obesity, asthma, bronchitis, cancer. A lot of people started dying in early age. So the government of Japan, they did a study and they kind of brought this forest therapy. You have to go in the wooded area where you can go with a guide. We will direct and we will tell you how to do this if you come to the retreat. It's a 90 minutes guided walk in the wooded area where you go through. It's an awareness meditative walk where you go there. You will be aware of your surroundings, sound, smell, taste, air, touch. You're going to touch a lot of trees, smell them, play with the mud, play with the ground, play with the trees, and play with natural water. All this stuff we will do for 90 minutes. Then you come back. After that, actual forest therapy, you can collect the leaves and the nuts along the way, and then we make a natural tea with water, and we put all these nuts and leaves, and then we share it with the forest, 1 cup, and then we all share it among ourselves. So it's a very quiet meditative walk. We won't talk during the process. You have to take your time slow. It's not a fast walk. It's an awareness meditative walk. In that way, at the end, we talk after the forest therapy for 90 minutes. We exchange our views. We sit and drink tea and enjoy and see what reactions that it made during the process of forest. So after doing this, some of the experiments they did in Japan, patients' blood pressure, heart rate, blood glucose level went down 35%. Went down 35%. Naturally, without taking any medicine. Before and after also. 35% decrease in their anxiety level, blood sugar level, blood pressure, heart rate went down. The first thing it drove, people who couldn't sleep, there were a lot of pain medicines, a lot of anxiety medicines, a lot of medicines for sleep. A lot of people have sleep disturbance. They couldn't sleep. Forest therapy. First thing it did, break the sleeping cycle. It gives you a good rest and a good sleep that day. Once that is taken care, automatically you won't eat too much. One at a time, one at a time. All the problems starts. They're all interconnected. All problems, health problem issues, they're all interconnected. And now one at a time, all your problems will take care. You have to repeat this once in 3 weeks, once in 2 to 3 weeks minimum, regardless of weather. You have to do this repeatedly. The scientific thing behind the forest therapy is there is this chemical that secretes from the tree called phytoncides. If you go under a tree, stand there for 5 minutes, there is a constant shower of these phytoncides that continuously around from the leaves and branches around the tree. That chemical is the basis for forest therapy. And they simulated by extracting that chemical and inducing making like a nebulization in a hotel. It created the same effect in people. What does it do? It increases your natural killer cells, decreases your blood pressure, anxiety. Chemically, it decreases your epinephrine level, increases your insulin level, increases your basic immunity. Natural killer cells are the ones that can kill the corona, any type of virus, bacteria. As soon as it goes in, they come and attack and kill. This increases the capacity for immune system to get boosted and work better. If you do this forest therapy every 3 weeks, you will not suffer from a lot of medical problems. But you have to practice. Log in YouTube, there's books on Amazon, forest therapy, check it out. But practically, you need a guide how to do it. So come over to our ranch. We will take care of it. We'll show you how to do it. Then we'll do a light lunch, plant-based lunch. Then we'll do a barefoot walking around the lake and experience the meditative kayaking and how you can spend some time in nature. Then we'll do a tea and snack break. Then we'll do a yoga session in the evening around 3:30 to 5, which will include a laughing yoga, clapping yoga, some postures and meditation. And then we'll have a plant-based dinner after that. Then we'll have a campfire and 5 elements therapy. And we'll have question and answer session, and we'll conclude probably around 6 to 7 p.m. in the evening. So that's the whole day schedule starting from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. That you have to come to Butler, to our ranch, to have a complete experience of the whole things what I just discussed. I can only give you a little bit of information, but to practical experience, you have to be there. So that's just an overall like a picture what we can do. So we talked about this and how to do it, when to do it. We can all discuss more in detail in the next visit. Okay, so alpacas. This is all our alpacas. From here, all the slideshow from our own alpacas. So we collect the rainwater. We have a huge, big, like a large bucket. All the water from it collects. And I have a heater now. Even at 10-degree weather, it remains de-iced. I have a de-icer there. The alpacas come every day. They drink the rainwater. They like rainwater better than any city water or well water or anything. The purest water is the rainwater if you can harvest it properly. So this is our cabins. We have 3 cabins on the property for people to stay. We are on Airbnb also under Nature's Melodies Yoga Alpaca Ranch, and you can stay here. They have AC and also they have shower inside. There is a restroom, and it can accommodate 4 to 6 people. There are two in the back, one in the front. So that's our barn and activity center, which has AC and heated also. It has a capacity for 100 guests to come. There is restrooms inside. We have 40 yoga mats and some lot of chairs and tables for you guys to do functions if you need to. So there is a alpaca called Cleopatra. I'll show the picture pretty soon. So she was born August 1st of 2020. But as soon as she was born, mom, for some reason, did not feed them. See, all the alpacas, they need breast milk. They cannot, any baby cannot survive without breast milk. So they, for some reason, the mom, I think mom had mastitis, they're thinking. As soon as baby comes, mom will run. I don't know what happened. So we watched for a few hours, then we talked to people. They said, you have to supplement colostrum, breast milk, some kind of a artificial milk. Artificial means it's derived from like goat milk or some cow milk or something. We have to give it every 4 hours, 24/7 for 6 months. 24/7. Now you see the importance of the mom. Not only humans, all the animals, they have a great relationship with their babies. The babies are attracted by mom mainly by breast milk. If the mom doesn't feed, the baby does not remember the mom. The baby called Cleopatra, I'll show you a picture. She does not remember who the mom is because mom did not give the breast milk. That really happened. And luckily what happened, we went and bought the colostrum and powder milk from goats. And my son Rick, he's here. So these are my kids. This is my first one. His name is Kushi. He's in med school in St. Louis. And he's Vikrant. He's in case Western. He's in treatment. So they all have ranch experience. They were there when babies were born. We don't call a vet. We don't know when to call a vet. Vet doesn't come for anything until there's a real reason. So he had, when he was there, there were like 3 babies born. And when he was there, there were like 2 or 3 babies born. So all of my kids, there's another kid. He's not here, my third son. He's also Nishant. He's Kushi, Miku, and Nisha. We have 3 boys, no girls. So all of them had an excellent ranch experience, which nobody can give. Even if you pay money, you won't get that experience. So he fed the baby Cleopatra every 4 hours, day and night, for 6 months until the baby can eat. And baby is surviving, it's healthy. We didn't drink because I thought it's too stressful for the baby to drink. But it's doing good now. But if you come to the ranch, you can see it. So that's Cleopatra. Oh. Okay. So it's a little smaller than other animals because mom didn't feed. So we have to feed other goats' milk and stuff. The fiber is fantastic. It's good. She thinks she's like our kids. So like they're there, it comes here, licks me, pet me like that. None of the other alpacas come. And then we can hold the alpaca and stuff. She thinks that it belongs to a family. So whenever we go, it comes like she's always around. She wants to be with us. So it's like, it's like a family. So we named her Cleopatra. So
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. So that's pumpkin spice. She's a dark brown. And Cleopatra, pumpkin spice, and white knight. Mayflower. They 3 are born at the same time. So hold on, there should be another one. Okay. So with the alpaca babies, crias, all the crias, they all play together. Same age crias, they play together at the same time. So this is our farmhouse, ranch house, and it was built probably around 50 years ago. So this very stone built, very strong, very efficient, energy efficient, and so the pastures go around the house like this, and all the animals they come, behind the house. It's completely fenced. So below the house, there's an opening like a basement that will go to the breakfast area, and then we can when you guys come, you'll have. So he's our rodent controller. His name is Pass. We have one more. His mom called Tigress. They both do a great job. So this is a view from the farmhouse. Wow. So when we sit in our living room in the farm, we have the lake view, and all the alpacas come from the barn is on the left. So they come one way, and they stay all day. They stay here. So we have some kayaks on the boat. We can use it on the lake. We can use it. And we'll do like a barefoot walking from the house up to the lake, and then we come back. So this is Mayflower, Shivan. This is Susan in an alpaca show. We were in Pennsylvania and Mass and Maryland Alpaca show last year. She won like first place. So we didn't bring her. This is me with the Rocket. Rocket, we saw the little one, the
Oh, yeah.
alpaca. His name is Rocket. So he won first place too. So this shows we have some of the banners and the things we bought this time. So you can see now we go to like dog show. We take alpaca to an alpaca show. So the same trailer, we take 3 or 4 animals. So there's a huge, large facility where they keep all these alpacas underneath a big roof. So we have like small areas. We keep all alpacas with our farm name, and then we have to show them, go around and then show them to the judges, and they, based on the structure, how they walk, and the fiber quality, they assess. They give first, second, third, and then they go from there to the next level and next level. They really get a banner. So we have a couple banners from one of these couple animals that we really achieve really good with that. So it increases the quality of our animals. That's the reason we go to the functions. Next one is coming in March. We go to Ohio show. Okay, so all these alpacas before dinner they come, they just line up. That's their barn. So this is like before they be sheared in last May. So they line up, they want to go in. So they just chill out in the evening sun and then they go in before dinner. So this is the lake on a summer day, the view from the lake. So the kayaks, you can use kayaks on the boat. You come here, we do a meditative walk around the lake, and there's a small gazebo. We sit and we enjoy the nature. We do some meditation over there. Okay, so White Knight, you saw the white one here. So his name is White Knight. So I call him perfect alpaca. The reason we say that, he has straight legs. If you observe him from far, he has a level back, and he's short and he's stout. He's compact. So he's a good male. So he's fully covered, nice thick fleece. So he's a good breeding male for us. We haven't bred him yet. He's still a young boy. It's probably this coming year we will start breeding. So whenever there's alpacas, I just want to show that what a perfect alpaca is, what to expect in a perfect alpaca. Is one of the good ones. So this is Cleopatra with Susan's mom, my mother-in-law. Her name is Neela. So we took Cleopatra. That's the one that we took to the show, and so she was with us. Okay, so these are the cabins. You can enjoy the campfire. So people in the back cabin, they have their own fireplace, like campfire place. You can collect all the wood around, and then you can start your own fire, and then you can stay in the cabin. So this is Cleopatra and Pumpkin Spice. They're best friends. So these 3 are best friends. The one on the left is Mayflower, Pumpkin Spice, and Cleopatra. So they, with the moms and stuff, they sit like this. So that's Mayflower, the white one. Pumpkin Spice is on the left. So when the moms are grazing, they just sit around and all this like that. So the way they sit, we call it in yoga, it's a diamond posture. If you guys are familiar with yoga, we call it diamond posture. So you kind of bend your knees, you sit in between your knees and your hips, and that's how they sit. They fold their legs like that, and they sit in diamond posture. Okay, so this is our yoga and activity hall, which has chairs and stuff inside. So this was an old barn, about same time, like 40 years old. But when we got to the property, this was not like this. It was used for storing hay. So we completely renovated, new laminate flooring, drywall, and AC windows. We kept the barn look on the top. We just wanted to keep it so when people come in, they know what it is. And the rest of it we renovated and we made a yoga hall. So it has all the audiovisual equipment and AC and heated. So this is like our farm dog. His name is Krishna. So he is always watching everything. So this is the campfire in front of the cabins. So this is special. So his name is Quicksilver, the baby. He exactly looks like mom. So he's called Tuxedo Silver. So you see, look at his face. It's the white face, and then a little bit of white neck around there, and the legs just below the knees, it's white. And he looks exactly like his mom. Mom's name is Indigo. And when they were born, we couldn't we were stunned. How can it look? Even though I think the male was a little bit blackish white color, but he came out exactly like mom. Silver, gray, one of the best colors in it. I just want to show you that. He's now a grown boy, big boy. And I couldn't bring him today. He's a little big and he stands like this, like a horse. And it's hard to control him, so we didn't bring him today. So this is Nishu, my third son. He's the one, he took her to the championship and he got the Buckeye Alpaca Show championship. This was 2 years ago. So this is Krishna. He's our ranch protector. He's a Great Pyrenees mountain dog. He has herding skills and guarding skills. Any weather resistance, 0, -10. He sits out on the snow, just sits on our porch. They're always outside dogs. Sometimes they come into the house, but mainly we raise them to be with alpacas in the ranch. They protect the whole thing. All night, starting 6 p.m. Daytime they sleep. Starting 6 p.m., they get this guarding skills activated. I don't know what it is. They go around smelling and chasing the deer. Not a single bird can come in chase. They're always watching. They're always very protective. I cannot bring a new animal inside. I cannot bring a new dog or anything else come in, any new animal, immediately they kind of gets agitated. They know their boundaries and they want to protect, they want to be protected. So this is one of the cabins. It is a little bit more luxurious than the one in the back that's inside. We have a natural wooded fireplace that heats up the whole cabin. Okay, so this one, we had 7 Great Pyrenees puppies. We had a boy and a girl dog. We didn't know, we kept for more than 6 months. And they are babies. And so, like we were surprised, we know what to do with 7 dogs. So this was like, we had a nice time for that. And then we sent the female away to another ranch. We couldn't help it. So I have 2 males now. This was like 3 years ago. So, but they were good dogs. We had a nice time with puppies. These Great Pyrenees, when they are born, they are so cute puppies. You think our dogs here, but these dogs are like small. They're so fluffy. They're very, very cute, like that. They're all together all the time. Very, very cute. Okay, these are some of the pumpkins we use for detox. Those are all grown on our ranch. Thank you very much. I hope I put you guys to sleep.
Oh my. Thank you both. That was so compelling. It was excellent, so compelling. So yes, we are planning a retreat. Let me just say, if you haven't signed in, please do. Please have your email. We will send you this whole video. Brittany is, oh hi folks, is going to be putting together all this parts, and we will be sending you Peruvian snacks. People that are here before you go, you'll be taking some delicious, we have 3 snacks for you ready to go. And of course, then you can also ask questions. And
Do you guys have any questions?
And then we have shopping. And if you want to show,
Okay.
Do you want to show your food? They have an upward curve in their thing, so even if they're sad, you can't tell.
We have quinoa crackers.
You can probably take your mask off if you want to come down here.
Quinoa crackers, very easy to make, very tasty. Some lima bean hummus with garnished with pepitas, pumpkin seeds. And Brittany has made
You have granola bars.
granola bars. We wish you were here.
So tomorrow, you guys will get this recording. You'll get, I think there's 5 recipes. They're all going to be sent to your email. We didn't do a cooking demo today just because of coronavirus, and it was a pretty packed event. So you guys will get all of the recipes tomorrow, and I also have footage of the alpacas that they brought to let us see. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. I hope you guys could hear it okay. I'm gonna increase the volume in the recording, so you guys will get that as well tomorrow in your email. But does anyone have any questions before we go? I can see if I can ask some people if anyone has any questions. All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun. It's definitely a unique plant-based event we've had here. If you are in the Pittsburgh area or around Pittsburgh, we are going to have a retreat at their farm and have, you know, a whole plant-based lunch and yoga and everything else. So if anyone is local, I will keep you guys updated when we do plan that, but that'll probably be hopefully in May. Okay, but you guys all have a wonderful day. I will send you guys, Sally will send you guys the recording and all the recipes tomorrow. All right, stay warm if you're anywhere near the eastern side. Thanks for joining. I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.